Good morning, everybody. Hope you guys are doing good so far today. And now it is time for the main event of free agency. That's right. We've been through the guys that are relatively easy to keep if you want to keep them, the exclusive rights free agents, the restricted free agents. That's the easy stuff. Those guys, those guys you can basically bring back at the snap of a finger if you just decide that you value them at all. Most of the time, if you want to keep an ERFA or an RFA, you're going to get to keep that player. It's very rare. And especially in the case of RFAs, if you don't, you're going to get well compensated for it. So it's going to be fine, kind of no matter what happens there, I think. But here is the area where teams can really be altered in ways that maybe they didn't plan for or desire. We are talking about unrestricted free agents. Unrestricted free agents are players with 4 or more accrued seasons in the NFL. And basically, their contracts are going to expire at the start of the new league year, and they can leave and go to any team they want to for any reason they want to. Nice and simple, right? The team that they're currently on as of right now could offer them the biggest contract in the world, and the player could go, no, I want to go play somewhere else for less money. I don't care. I don't want to be here anymore. So these are the players that you can realistically lose even if you desire to keep them. These are the players you actually have to negotiate with. These are the players you're going to actually have to work if you want to keep around. Now, the wrinkle comes in the form of the tag, the franchise tag, and the transition tag, but almost everybody just uses the franchise tag now. So the franchise tag allows you to kind of keep that in check just a little bit. Every team in the NFL gets one franchise tag per offseason they can use to basically slap a player with a tag that makes it impossible for them to just leave. It's like a 1-year deal, a big 1-year fully guaranteed deal, but a 1-year deal that the player has no choice to decline. But other than that one franchise tag each team can use a year, and by the way, teams really don't like to use the franchise tag, at least in the sense of keeping a player on the team. They like to use it as a negotiation tactic. They like to use it as maybe like a tag and trade. They don't like to put it on a player and leave it there. But other than that, the players are free to do what they want with their career. So some of our outgoing free agents are going to require a deeper look, a deeper dive to understand what they might be looking for in free agency, what we might have to do. So this is going to be an extended video series over the course of the next month or so. But I wanted to make this one video at the start to kind of go over who the outgoing free agents are. Again, this list is from Field Goals. They posted a primer a couple weeks ago. This list is slightly different than the list on Spotrac. I'm using this one because I believe it is updated and I believe it is more accurate. But again, when it comes to what kind of free agents certain players are, there is going to be conflicting information out there. So understand that this is the best that I can glean as being accurate, but we may learn things in the coming days about, for instance, Ryan Neal. I think he's restricted, but Spotrac says he's unrestricted. So we may find out otherwise. And by the way, if we do find out otherwise about Ryan Neal, that changes things dramatically with him. I think it changes things pretty dramatically with a guy like Mike Jackson, too, because that's another guy who I don't know if he's restricted or not. But I'm going off this list on Field Goals. And if we learn otherwise down the line, we can definitely adjust our prognostications. But I just want to go over the list of unrestricted free agents. So once again, these are the list of players who were Seahawks in 2022 who are going to become free agents at the end of the league year, which I believe rolls over in mid-March. So basically, these players can choose to stay or choose to leave, and the team is going to have to negotiate with them if they want them to stay. All right, so here's the list. We got Geno Smith and Drew Lock, so both quarterbacks are free agents. As of right now, going into the next league year, we do not have a quarterback, unless you count Sean Mannion, and I believe he's actually a free agent as well. He was just never really on the team. He was always on the practice squad. We've got 2 running backs on the free agent list, Travis Homer and Rashad Penny. So pretty good chunk of your backfield. And by the way, you've got your fullback, even though I don't think he ever actually played at fullback for us, Cullen Gillespie. So you've got a pretty big chunk of your backfield potentially coming off the books this offseason. You've got 2 receivers, Marquise Goodwin, free agent, and Laquan Treadwell, also a free agent. You've got both of your centers, Austin Blythe and Kyle Fuller, both potentially leaving in this offseason. And you've got 1 guard in the form of Phil Haynes. So you're actually not missing a whole lot of your offensive line here, which is kind of nice. Your tackle position is pretty well taken care of, but center, that could be a problem. Defensive line, you've got 2 defensive linemen that are outgoing free agents. You've got Poona Ford and LJ Collier. I think some people might prefer that we had more of our offensive line potentially going out the door, but only the 2 free agents right now, Poona and LJ. You've got 2 outside linebackers, Bruce Irvin, who a lot of people think will probably retire, and I agree with that. And you've also got Daryl Johnson Jr., who played a little bit earlier in the year and then got hurt. He's also an outgoing UFA. You've got your linebacker slash fullback slash special teamer Nick Bellore, also a free agent. And you've got 2 other inside linebackers in Cody Barton and Ben Burr-Kirvin, both heading towards the door unless you can find a way to make a deal with them. We've got 3 cornerbacks, none of whom played very much this year. Artie Burns, Justin Coleman, Xavier Crawford, all 3 heading to free agency. I don't think Coleman played a snap since week 1, and Artie Burns played a little bit in like week 4 or 5 or something, and then never played again. So not huge losses, granted, but still, 3 corners. You've got 3 safeties in Tees Tabor. You've got Josh Jones and the, I think, most interesting one, Jonathan Abram. Now, Jason Myers is no longer a free agent. This list was put together right before his extension, so Jason Myers is no longer a consideration. And then you've got 2 long snappers, Tyler Ott and Carson Tinker. Tyler Ott's been a long snapper for a while, but last year Tinker was the whole year because Tyler Ott got hurt. So that is the full list of outgoing UFAs for the Seattle Seahawks right now. Again, minus Jason Myers. So there are going to be a subset of these guys that are going to be really easy. Like, they're basically not that different than an RFA, because there are definitely guys on this list who will feel fortunate to just be in the NFL. You offer them the veteran minimum, and they're signing on that dotted line, no problem. Yeah, I'd love to make $1 million to barely play in the NFL for a year. But a lot of the guys on this list will require a little more discussion than that. A lot of the guys on this list, you're going to have to negotiate, you're going to have to make the right offer, you're going to have to promise the right opportunities, and then you might be able to sign them. And those guys we're going to discuss in an extended video series upcoming on this channel. Some of them are going to be obvious. Guys like Geno Smith, that's going to be a very interesting topic throughout this offseason. But you've also got guys who I think will also require a little bit of finessing in negotiation that aren't so obvious. Like Nick Bellore. Don't be surprised if Nick Bellore requires a little bit more money than you might have expected because of his multiple hats that he wears. So we're going to break it all down in the coming weeks, but that is a preview of our UFAs. See you guys later. Go Hawks.